Hey everyone, welcome to the PCS-Proof Podcast, where we're covering the vital things you need to know to thrive in every season of military life. I'm your host and milspouse fitness expert, Grace Barnick-Damazo, and I encourage you to join me each week as we dive deep into topics like fitness, wellness, and entrepreneurship as a military spouse so that you can maintain your own sense of identity and purpose, conquering every transition with strength and resilience. As we journey together, you can expect uplifting conversations and insights. We'll share some laughs, and you can count on me to keep it real so that together we can become truly PCS-proof. Now let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the PCS-Proof Podcast. In case this is your first time joining me, I wanted to say welcome. We've had kind of an uptick in listenership in the last couple weeks, which is very exciting, and I'm so glad that you found my podcast. And so I'm super happy to have you, and for those who've been listening since the beginning, I'm so happy to have you back for another great episode. My name is Grace, and today we are talking about the holidays. Cue the excitement and the stress, right? If you're a woman in military life or a military spouse like me, you know that the holiday season brings a whole mix of emotions. There's the joy of creating memories with family and friends, but there's also the pressure to make everything perfect while juggling deployments, family far away, and the unique challenges that come with military life. Does that sound familiar to you? Well, if the holiday season has ever made you feel more overwhelmed than overjoyed, stick around because this episode is all about keeping things simple and meaningful without the stress and definitely without the guilt. Whether you're dealing with a deployment, a new duty station, or just want a less chaotic season, I've got some real life tips and a little inspiration to help you truly enjoy this holiday this year. So grab your coffee, your tea, maybe some early eggnog, and let's dive into a holiday survival guide just for you. Looking for a more meaningful way to shop this holiday season? This year, let's skip the Black Friday chaos and make it more personal with Pink Friday, a shopping day created just for communities like ours. Pink Friday is all about celebrating and supporting small businesses. When you shop on this day, not only do you snag amazing deals, but you can also directly support a military spouse-owned small business and the military family behind it. Here's where it gets exciting. Over at FitPath Coaching, we're getting ready to roll out the best deals of the year on our fitness and nutrition programs designed specifically for you. These Pink Friday offers are still top secret, but here's a hint. They're going to be incredible. Want first dibs? Join our Pink Friday priority notification list today. Sign up and you'll be the first to know about deals from the only fitness and nutrition coaching company made just for military spouses. Plus, I have a few surprises up my sleeve for everyone on the list. So don't miss out. Go to fitpathcoaching.com, click the banner, and add your name to the priority notification list. Let's make our holiday shopping truly matter this year. Shop small, shop milspouse owned, and let's kick off the season with some milspouse magic this Pink Friday. Head to fitpathcoaching.com now to get on the list and grab my best deals of the year. See you there. I really love the holiday season. It's always been my favorite time of year. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday of the year, and Christmas takes a very, very close second. I love the food, I love the festivities, the opportunities to celebrate with friend groups and family. I love the chilly weather that means you have to bundle up and grab a hot cup of spiced cider and your cheeks are flushed and rosy red when you come in from the outdoors. I just love everything about it. And everything is just decorated in sparkly lights. It's always felt really magical to me. But things have changed a lot. This will be our fourth holiday season living overseas, and I've felt a huge shift in my emotional state around this time of year. It's just so different when you live far away from your normal holiday traditions. Before we moved overseas, we would spend every holiday with our immediate families. It felt like the holidays. But when you're so far away and you have to figure out how to maintain or create the same level of enjoyment for yourself and your family unit, it can really feel like an added challenge in and of itself. Maybe you can relate. Because sure, everyone deals with holiday stress. It doesn't matter who you are, military life, civilian life, whatever it is. But when you're part of a military family, it's on a whole nother level, right? For most of us, just the fact that we might not even be in the same place this year that we were in last year makes it hard to build that home for the holidays vibe. You know what I mean? Maybe last year you were stationed in San Diego. This year you're in Norfolk. Or maybe you just moved and your house is still full of boxes. And just thinking about this makes me kind of laugh because it dawned on me when I was putting together this episode that we got our household goods last year the day after Thanksgiving, literally the day after Thanksgiving. And we didn't even celebrate Thanksgiving last year. I just completely forgot about that until now when I was putting all of this together. In fact, we spent Thanksgiving driving our dog 2 hours away to an emergency vet because he sliced his foot open earlier in the day on Thanksgiving Day and it was so deep that he needed several stitches. Poor babe. And that's a whole nother story. But yeah, holidays in military life just brings their own unique added stressors and adventures. And let's be real, deployments or trainings can mean celebrating without your partner, which, just feels really hard. It's like everyone else has these big family-filled gatherings, and here we are doing FaceTime Christmas or happy holiday texts because that's all we've got. Plus, the financial stress can be huge. Travel, gifts, the whole thing, it all adds up. And with military budgets, sometimes that might be tight, and it can feel like a lot of pressure to give the kids or the family back home that kind of holiday. But here's the thing. Every one of these challenges, totally normal. So normal, so valid. You are not alone in feeling that extra layer of stress or guilt this holiday season. So with that in mind, let's talk about the G word. Yeah, guilt. Because for a lot of us, holiday guilt creeps in fast. It may have already started for you. Maybe it's guilt that you're not with extended family. I know that you're probably already getting the guilting from the parents or the siblings to fly home for the holidays, or guilt that you can't do all the things for the kids, or guilt that the holidays don't look like a Pinterest board. It's exhausting, right? I remember that my first year of experiencing the holidays overseas was fine, but it really felt different. I felt the difference. And it just didn't feel like all of the other years that I had gotten used to up until that point in my life. So my second year overseas, I didn't even want to put up a Christmas tree. It just felt like if it's not going to be the same, why even put in the effort? Why even put in that extra time and effort? So let's just say it's okay that the holidays aren't perfect or the same. You don't need to have every decoration in place or every family tradition checked off every year in order to make it meaningful. And I think once I embraced that a little bit more, it got a lot easier. And with the exception of last Thanksgiving, I've been able to find new joy in the season. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to agree to let go of perfection. Yes, that's right. Let it go. This season is all about quality time with the people right in front of you, even if that's just through a screen. I think back to the really special Friendsgivings that I've been able to have these past few years, enjoying pecan pie that was baked by my husband's coworker from a recipe passed down from his grandma that he loved, and he wanted to share it with us. How special is that? And I was even able to spend a Christmas Eve and a Christmas Day in Sapporo, Hokkaido, Japan, having dinner with new, now lasting friends. These are such special memories that I am so grateful and I treasure them. So let's enter this holiday season by letting go of perfection. Step 1, let it go. And another thing that helps, setting boundaries. If family members are pushing you to get home for the holidays, but you're already stretched thin, It's totally okay to kindly but firmly say, we're doing what is going to work best for our family this year. Your family loves you, and most will understand if you explain. And if they don't, that's okay too. We already know that most people who are not in this military life just can't understand why we can't drop everything to come back home at a moment's notice. So it's okay if they don't understand. You still need to do what's best for you and what's best for your family. And remember, at the end of the day, what makes the holidays special is connection, not perfection. All right, let's get into some real life practical stuff that you can actually use to make this holiday season feel a little lighter. First tip is to make a plan for you and your family. Think about what you value most during the holidays. Maybe it's decorating, maybe it's baking, maybe it's just having some quiet time at home to savor all the holiday magic. Pick a couple of things that you actually want to do and let go of the rest. My husband and I really enjoy traveling, so we've been having a really fun time alternating one year at home, and the next year we'll celebrate Christmas and New Year's in a different place. And that's been a really fun tradition that we've built in the past couple years. And if the budget's tight this year, let's get creative. I know we sometimes feel the pressure to spend a lot during the holidays, especially when it comes to gifts, but there's so many thoughtful, meaningful things that you can do that don't cost much. Try homemade gifts, or do a fun gift exchange instead of buying everyone gifts individually, or set a budget to have everyone stick to, and make it a fun challenge to see if you can find something small but super meaningful. Even experiences are a really great way to do things. Like, I love ice skating, so I would just be over the moon if I got to go spend a day ice skating during the holidays. That would be super affordable and an amazing memory to create. Next is to prioritize your self-care. You know I'm big on self-care, and I know you're probably thinking, sure, but where's the time? Here's the secret. Self-care doesn't have to be big. It can be 5 minutes of deep breathing. It can be a short walk or just a few quiet minutes with a cup of coffee. Whatever it is, take a little time each day to just breathe and let go of stress and just soak in all that holiday magic. It just makes such a difference. So don't let time and the chaos of the holiday season prevent you from taking moments for self-care. I went through this in so much more detail actually in last week's episode, so I definitely recommend that you go back and listen to that right after this episode, or put it in the queue to listen to later this week. Maybe go for a walk and listen to it then. And finally, if you're feeling isolated, reach out. Many bases or local organizations in your area offer holiday events for military families. And if you're far away from your family, try to find an online community that you can tap into. There are so many wonderful groups of military spouses sharing their own holiday stories and support. And sometimes just connecting with others who, quote unquote, get it can really lift you up. So definitely reach out. Don't feel like you need to go through this alone. Okay, so here's where we can get a little creative. If there's one thing that military life teaches us, is that flexibility and adaptability are key. So why not take that mindset, that flexibility and adaptability mindset, and use it to create some new traditions that you can move with you? For example, if your spouse is deployed or away right now, maybe make a tradition of having the kids each write a note to their parent who's away, or record a special video message to share. I know these things sound simple, but sometimes we get so overwhelmed with everything that's going on during the holidays that we forget that these little things actually mean so much to the people on the other end and the people who are creating them. Or if it's just you and the kids this year, set up a holiday movie night with hot cocoa and popcorn and let them each pick a holiday movie. Those are some of my favorite memories as a kid, is watching holiday movies. And here's an idea I love. Create a holiday countdown jar. This is a jar filled with slips of paper, each with small, simple activities like have a dance party to holiday music, or bake holiday cookies or make a funny holiday video to send to family. This way you're building up excitement while you're counting down the days and creating memories in a way that feels special and doable at any budget and anywhere that you're at in the world. Remember, these traditions don't have to look like the ones we grew up with, even though we want them to. You're making memories that are meaningful to your family now and likely building something that will remain a constant in your kids' lives no matter where you end up next year. Remember, don't burn yourself out trying to be perfect in this. Simple does not make it less meaningful. The time and the memories are what make it meaningful. Okay, let's talk about managing extended family and friends' expectations. This is another really big one. Look, I know it can be tough when family members want you to come home, but it's just not feasible either financially or logistically. In my opinion, the best approach is honest communication. Let the family know what's realistic for you this year and try not to feel guilty if you need to set some of those boundaries that we talked about. Believe me, you're going to feel a major weight lifted off your shoulders when you stop dancing around the constant text messages of, "Are you coming home this year? We haven't seen you and the kids in forever. Grandma's getting old. You should come home and see her." And I don't mean to sound insensitive with these examples, but you guys know what I mean, right? These are all variations of the same questions and conversations that can just wear us down, can't they? You might say something like, "We can't make it home this year, but we'd love to do a family group video call on Christmas morning." Or maybe offer to celebrate with them at a different time during the year when it's a little bit easier for you. Technology is really on our sides nowadays, and there are so many ways to feel like we're close without even having to leave home. Create a holiday movie watch party on one of the movie streaming platforms. I know that Netflix and I think Amazon offer these watch party options, so that would be a really fun way to feel close even when you're far away. You could do a Zoom holiday cocktail hour with your besties back home. I've even used gift exchange apps like Elfster to do family gift exchanges before, and I'm sure there are even more suggestions that you might have, and I really hope that you'll leave them as a comment on this episode on Spotify or on Instagram so that other people can gather inspiration from your ideas and what's worked really well for you. And if you do feel guilty, try to remind yourself that it's okay to prioritize your own family's needs and well-being. You're showing your family that even if things aren't picture perfect, they're filled with love, okay? So as we wrap up today, let's remember a few things. The holidays, they don't need to be perfect to be memorable. Pick a couple of things that really matter to you. Set some boundaries and focus on what brings you and your immediate family joy. And above all, give yourself some grace. The military life comes with so many unique challenges, and the fact that you are showing up every single day, that's something to celebrate in and of itself. Just the time that you're taking to listen to this episode and make time for some energy input during this crazy season, I mean, that says a lot about who you are and how much you care. So give yourself a little bit of grace. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen and for tuning in today. If you've enjoyed this episode or know a fellow military spouse or another woman in military life who could use a little bit of holiday cheer, please share this episode with them. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on your favorite listening platform, as well as on Instagram at PCS-Proof Podcast for even more tips on navigating military life with a little bit more ease and while maintaining your sanity through the holidays. And if you've gotten even a sliver of value from this podcast, do yourself a favor. Head over to fitpathcoaching.com and get on our Pink Friday priority notification list right now. I have lined up some incredible once-a-year opportunities to make 2025 your fittest year yet at a fraction of the regular cost. Just imagine stepping into the new year already set up for success. You don't even have to think about what you're going to do or what actions you need to take. It's already done for you, and with deals that are simply too good to miss. So trust me, when these deals go live, you are going to want to be first in line. So don't be that person regretting from the sidelines. Sign up now and secure your spot for the best offers of the year. All right, I will catch you right back here next week with another empowering episode. Until then, here's to a holiday season that's all about less stress, less guilt, and way more joy. I'll cheers to that. And remember, no matter where in the world military life sends you, together we are PCS-Proof. Adios. And here is the legal language. This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not intended to replace professional advice. The views expressed in this podcast may not be those of the host or fitpathcoaching.com. Moreover, we are not responsible for any losses, damages, or liabilities that may arise from the use of this podcast.